Thank you. I'm not old. I just, in Cleveland, I fell and hit my right foot. Still hurting, but it'll be okay. Anyway, thank you. Thank you, Arizona. Thank you, everybody here. This is a great day. I remember 13 months ago, many of you were here. Donald Trump really started his fight against illegal immigration right here in Phoenix, in this building. Think of that. I remember when I introduced him, by the way, this is what is this, a teleprompter? I had to read a teleprompter in Cleveland. First one I ever read. I don't like teleprompter. So I'm not reading a teleprompter. But I remember when I introduced him, I said, I have a gut feeling that he will be a great president. And then I said something that sticks with me. I said, there is a silent majority out there. Remember that? And everybody started cheering. Well, it's not silent anymore, so we'll wipe out that silence. I'm very proud of Donald Trump for what happened today. When he took a trip to Mexico City, invited by the president of Mexico. And I look back and remember my days when I was the director in Mexico City for the U.S. Drug Enforcement and had to deal with the president and the top officials. Sometimes it wasn't nice, but we were still able to talk, mutual respect, and sometimes that's how you get along. We got the greatest guy, probably in the world, that knows how to make a deal. So I'm sure he probably made a few deals in Mexico City, but he's not going to give away the United States of America. And he's going to stick to his guns. Let me tell you something about Donald Trump. I've associated with many people running for president, but this guy is different. This guy is different. You want me to start over? This guy is different. Can you hear me? So, much different. What I was saying, usually when you work in a campaign, you have a consultant saying, say this, don't say that, do this, don't do that. Not once has he ever asked me to say something, not to say it, for his campaign. So he is very comfortable with himself. Now, let's get to Hillary. Wait a minute, are you booing or cheering? What is it? Okay. Now, I heard her say something today that makes me very angry. When she said he ought to be more concerned, Donald Trump, with Arizona than Mexico. Doesn't she know that all the drugs and illegal immigration comes from Mexico? Should we not be concerned about Mexico? Should we not be concerned about telling the government to stop flooding our country with drugs and heroin and illegal immigration? That's how you solve the problem. You do it over there before it gets here. One thing I learned in my international experience in many different countries, that the Secretary of State next to the President is the most important government official that has to deal with international affairs. Where's she been when she was Secretary of State? How many times did she go to Mexico and the president? How many times? And it's not that much of a trip. Donald Trump made it, I believe, in 2 hours. Of course, he's got a nice airplane, probably better than Air Force One, but that's okay. He'll have to be downgraded when he becomes the president. So don't go around blaming everybody else when you're the former Secretary of State about Mexico. Why is it that they did not concentrate on Mexico? Go there often. Deal with the Mexican officials. Talk about the drug traffic. Now, Donald Trump wants to build a wall. Hold on. A lot of people, you know, they're getting a little chicken these days. Well, who's going to pay for it? Okay? Now, quite frankly, I don't really care who pays for it. Let's get it built. And if Mexico does not want to pay for it, they're going to have to pay anyway. I'll tell you how you do it. You take away their foreign aid and take that money and build a wall. Very simple. But for him to go today, and he's going to get criticized, what did Clinton say? It's just a photo op? Oh, it's a photo op. So why does she go to get her picture with the president? Maybe the president doesn't want his picture with her. After Donald Trump finished, so I'm talking about Hillary. Why, we got more than one Clinton? Oh, we got Bill. I forgot Bill. Which is probably going to be if Hillary wins, Bill's going to be running the government anyway. So I'm going to get back to this building, 13 months ago, that Donald Trump did something, and I'm not going to say how it's going to turn out because I know he's going to get elected, but he did one thing. He opened the door for illegal immigration. Nobody wanted to touch this problem. That would have gone away. I guarantee you, if he didn't mention it, no other presidential candidate would be talking about it. You wouldn't be here today. It would not still be a big issue in this country. So you got to thank Donald Trump for opening the door for this problem. So, and another thing, Donald Trump, you know, I got a little personal thing, but I've been fighting this drug problem for 55 years. Not going to give up on that one. But he's the one that went public many months ago and said the wall is to stop dope peddlers too, not just illegal immigrants. When he was up in New England, where I'm from, New Hampshire, they were concerned about the heroin. That was their main concern about heroin. We have overdoses in this country, destroying our young people, and the dope is coming from Mexico. So don't tell me that that border is secured. And everybody's talking about 13 million people. I can go on, but let me tell you one thing. You know, we run a pretty big jail system here. 8,000 people in jail that are there for they're illegals, but arrested for other charges. We turn them over to ICE. 39% have come back to the same jails. One guy came back 24 times. So don't tell me that the government today are deporting all these illegals. They're letting them back on the streets to continue violations of the law. So think of that. We have a war on cops. Now, I'm a veteran. I talked to Donald Trump many times. I know what comes from his heart. He loves the cops. He loves the military. He loves the veterans. He loves all of you, too. But I'll tell you one thing. When he becomes president, they're going to wipe out these problems, the crime on these streets. And when you burn a building down, they ought to be locked up and not worry about being politically incorrect. Lock them all up and throw them in jail. That's what you do. That may seem tough, but we have to do something. We got cops being killed. We have politics involved. They call the Justice Department when they see a video. They don't even give the cops the benefit of the doubt, this administration. So we got to get back and defend our police, defend our country. And I know I'm got to close this thing right now, so I'm going to close it and say, make sure that you work hard for our next president, Donald Trump, and the vice president. So thank you very much.
Different about her, I don't really know. No matter how I try, I just can't make her cry.
Can you feel the vibes in the building? Somebody's here.